Tesla's market capitalization still remains above the $1 trillion mark, but the stock is well off of its all-time highs just over the last 2 weeks. In the meantime, Elon Musk's selling streak continues. He unloaded another $930 million in shares yesterday after dumping $6.9 billion in stock last week. Robert Frank joins us with more on Elon's sales of the stock. And Robert, I guess $1 billion here, $1 billion there, it starts to add up.
It's going to start adding up, Becky. Elon Musk exercising another $2.1 billion in options yesterday, selling off just under $1 billion to pay those taxes. That brings his total options exercises to $4.6 billion and his sales for taxes to just over $2 billion. He's got another $20 billion or so of options that he still has to exercise, along with another $10 billion or so of tax sales as part of that compensation package that expires in August. But here's what's important. Musk has been making two kinds of sales, one for taxes and one for straight cash. Now, most of his sales last week were not for tax reasons or related to any options exercises. According to the SEC filings, he sold $5.7 billion of his non-option related shares. And if you looked at the footnotes, they were not explicitly for tax reasons. Now, unlike the options sales, he does pay capital gains on those regular shares. Musk saying on Twitter that it's, quote, closer to tax maximization than minimization. But by selling now, he does avoid that potential 8% surcharge that Congress is considering on income over $25 million that would presumably start next year. So, Becky, the bottom line, he is selling for tax reasons, but he is also selling to take money straight off the table and to possibly avoid higher tax rates next year.
Robert, any of this you think is maybe broadening his portfolio, making sure he has other options out there? Or, I mean, the tax implications are pretty clear.
Yeah, the tax part is clear. And what was strange to people is why he didn't just come out and say, look, I have to sell for tax reasons. And the reason now we're seeing is that it's not just for tax reasons. He is selling to take money straight off the table. He's got a low capital gains tax rate on that because, remember, he lives in Texas now and he doesn't have to pay state income taxes on those regular share sales. And look, he's been borrowing against $900 million in shares. Maybe he's just tired of living under the weight of that debt. And he's been cash poor and stock rich for so long. It's reasonable to take, what's now $6 billion just to have in cash. But he's never come out and explained why, aside from that Twitter poll, he's doing that. And in any other company, the major shareholder and founder selling $6 billion in stock without an explanation would tank the stock. The stock's been under pressure, but remember, this is Tesla. It's different.